What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going over 10 wrestlers who could return at the Royal Rumble in 2020, since it is almost 2020 and the Royal Rumble is in exactly 1 month from today. Longtime fans of this channel should know this is when I make my bold predictions on who I think is going to return at the Royal Rumble. Although WWE doesn't really do any more cool Royal Rumble returns, I still like to make these crazy predictions just in hopes that it does happen, and it's fun. I like to believe that I can speak these returns into existence. For instance, I've said that CM Punk was going to make his return for the last 4 years, and even though he still did not return to Raw or SmackDown, he technically is working for a company that works with WWE, which is WWE Backstage and Fox. So I'm onto something. It kind of worked. Anyways, let's get right onto the list with number 10, Booker T. Can you dig it, sucker? Yes, that is what Booker T is going to say when he makes his return to the ring at the Royal Rumble in January. The event is being held in Houston, Texas, which is the home of the five-time world champion. Booker T is also in great shape, which means he would be suited to make a return if he wanted to and if WWE agreed. He also has a great working relationship with the company and was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think he'd get a great pop, and who wouldn't want to see us spin a Rudy one last time? Number 9, Ruby Riott. Now, let's talk about a female competitor who has been out of action for quite some time with a serious injury. She suffered from some major shoulder injury and has been recovering for the last 7 months. Well, there is no better time to return than right now, Ruby. If she is healthy, she should make her big return at the Royal Rumble. Although she probably would not win the match, I think she's a great addition to the women's division. I really would like to see a feud between her and Becky Lynch, or even her and Bayley, as her being the face. It could probably be a great feud, so let's see it. Number 8, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is another superstar who has been dealing with many injuries over the last few years. Every time he is being pushed in the main event scene, Samoa Joe suffers some sort of injury that derails any momentum that he has, and that's why he's never been able to be champion. This is another reason why he is on commentary right now, because he is recovering from another injury. Well, if you watched the last episode of Monday Night Raw, you should have seen that Seth Rollins and the Authors of Pain put him through the announcer's table. This means he is most likely making a return as a babyface and probably feuding with Seth Rollins. I think saving his return until the Royal Rumble to screw over Seth Rollins and eliminate him in the match would be perfect. It could also set up a nice WrestleMania match between Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. The crowd would probably also love this moment as well. Number 7, John Morrison. As we already know, WWE announced that John Morrison has signed a multi-year contract with the company. This happened at WWE Backstage, which I absolutely despise because it ruins all the fun out of these surprise returns. But oh well, what are you going to do? They want to be like a sport, which makes kind of sense, but like it still takes away from that moment. Anyways, this pretty much confirms that John Morrison will make his return at the Royal Rumble. If there is one person on this entire list that I have that I think is going to make 100% of a return at the Royal Rumble, it's John Morrison. He's probably going to have some cool high-flying moment, and everyone's going to cheer him when he comes back. And I think we're going to see some great matches when he does make this return, and I cannot wait to see him face against the likes of AJ Styles, Andrade Cien Almas, and Aleister Black, just to name a few. He is a great asset for this company. Number 6, Nia Jax. After last year's Royal Rumble event, I think I became a fan of Nia Jax. She took a super kick from Dolph Ziggler, a 619 from Rey Mysterio, and an RKO from Randy Orton like a champion. She was one of the most interesting things to happen at that Rumble, and I enjoyed it, so that's why I want to see her again. But she is dealing with some injuries. She does have a double knee injury, if I'm correct. I think she tore both of her ACLs, which absolutely sucks because she has been out of action since April. I know ACL injuries take a long time to repair, especially if you tear both of them, so I'm not sure if she's going to be medically cleared for the Rumble, but it might be possible. It all depends on her workout and training. I would love to see a huge return from Nia Jax at this year's Royal Rumble, just pretty much throwing people all around the ring. Number 5, Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream is the last person in this video on this list that is currently injured and out of action. However, he's a very likely candidate to make a big return at the Royal Rumble, which could be his debut for the main roster. even though he is only 24 years old, which is so young for a superstar like him, and NXT is perfect for him, it is possible that Vince McMahon might want to bring him up to Raw or SmackDown, since both of those rosters could use a up-and-coming superstar. Heck, Velveteen could even win the entire Royal Rumble and challenge Adam Cole for the NXT Championship at WrestleMania. It would make storyline sense because the Undisputed Era attacked him and caused this injury, and now that I'm thinking about it, I would actually prefer that to happen. Number 4, John Cena. It was reported that John Cena wanted a huge WrestleMania match because he missed last year's WrestleMania and he actually didn't even wrestle at a single pay-per-view in 2019, which means his streak of wrestling at least one pay-per-view a year is officially over. John Cena is definitely missing the WWE and wrestling itself. Well, if he wants a huge match at WrestleMania 36, he should start that journey by making a surprise return at the Royal Rumble, which is the start of the road to WrestleMania. He could also set up some sort of match for WrestleMania at that pay-per-view. I'm assuming it might be Drew McIntyre or even Velveteen Dream. There are many options of who we want to see John Cena wrestle at WrestleMania 36. Number 3, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey hasn't set foot inside a WWE ring since losing her championship to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35. It is very possible that she makes a shocking return and absolutely destroys every woman in sight in the Royal Rumble match. She would most likely win the match and challenge Becky Lynch for a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship. A one-on-one match for her championship. No Charlotte Flair is going to be involved. Ronda is rumored to make a return because she is still employed with the company. This was just a long break she wanted to take because she was feeling homesick and the road was making her sick and whatnot. I don't know. I think this match would instantly make WrestleMania feel that much bigger if we do get it. The only problem with Ronda versus Becky is that Shayna Baszler is coming up to Raw to feud with Becky, so it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Becky Lynch and the two former UFC fighters. Hopefully WWE figures it out, but they probably won't. Number 2, CM Punk. I said in the beginning of the video, it's pretty much a tradition to include CM Punk in this type of video because you have to manifest these things, manifest these returns by speaking it into existence. Since he is technically working with Fox talking about WWE, I can see him make an ultimate return at the Rumble and main event WrestleMania 36. That is the dream. CM Punk is one of the biggest stars in the last decade, and WWE would give him the victory without a doubt if he called Vince McMahon or Triple H and said this. The only question is, would he face Brock Lesnar or Bray Wyatt if he did agree to return at the Rumble? I think him defeating Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship would be amazing. Once he does return at the Rumble, you don't have to worry about me ever including him in this list anymore because I will fulfill that prophecy. And number 1, Edge. I never thought in a million years that this would be a possibility, but apparently Edge has re-signed a deal with WWE to wrestle again in the ring. Even though he completely denied this claim on Twitter, I do believe that Edge has done this to prevent ruining the surprise. I truly see Edge making a mega super duper crazy return at the number 130 spot to shock the entire world. I used to think that Edge should never come back because of his neck and I don't want him to be paralyzed, but I said the same thing about Daniel Bryan and now take a look at him. These wrestlers know their bodies way more than we do. We should let them make those choices. If Edge does make a grand return, I expect it to be the loudest pops in recent history. And that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Pllana, and I'll see you all on the next video.
And I got this soul.